it's Roxanne again. I'm here at Monster Mania 44, and we're here to meet Bruce Campbell. We got here at 8 a.m. and we're in line to get his autograph. I'm not sure how long that's going to take, but I'm taking you along with me. And while we're doing this, we're going to be testing the new Sony RX 107. I think is its number. It's the 7th one. Right now I'm filming on number 5, and we're going to compare them and see what they're like. See you soon. We got our Bruce Campbell autograph ticket. So for this one, they're doing tickets, which is different from the other one we did. And unfortunately, they didn't tell us where we're supposed to go, and if there's a line forming somewhere. But a guy just said they sold out, so I guess we're guaranteed to get one since we have a ticket. We're here bright and early, so that's good. Are you happy, Cookie? You got your ticket? I don't know if I'll be able to film while he gets an autograph. Probably not. So I'll let you know what happens.
Outside, but that's good to know, though.
There's the deer head. These are props from the musical. Pretty cool. The vending area on the top floor was open, so we took a walk through there. The bottom vending area, you have to use this thing, which you get in the mail if you order it early. Otherwise, you gotta wait in line. And I know Saturday was already sold out before we even got here. So I would suggest buying one early and getting it in the mail so you don't have to wait in line. We are in the hotel restaurant having breakfast. Decided to go buffet since it's faster. I'll let you see what it's like. Probably typical hotel food, I'm sure. Okay, yep. Typical hotel food. Worth 17. Yeah, depends on how much you eat, I guess. And this is probably all I'm gonna eat, but not bad. So we finally made it into the section that you have to have a band for. It's now open, and I'm gonna switch to the Sony 7 and see what that footage looks like.
This line to actually get in.
Dragon Star. There's our new lamp.
By the way, might make you happy. This in the background here is a little hang in there.
Some cool masks. Sam. How can you think Sam is creepy? He's so cute. Nice dress.
Starbucks is literally just, it only exists because people can go anywhere and get the same cup of coffee. You know, like if you like something, you know, anywhere you go.
So that was a walk through all the vendors. Not as much stuff that I want to buy this time as the last few places that we went. We did buy some merch and I'll be showing you that later, what I got. Yep, that's the line for a photo op. So we want to be here kind of early so we're not waiting forever. Although the wolf photography people are really good and they move pretty fast, so this line will actually go fast once it actually starts moving. We are now in the non-VIP line for Bruce, so hopefully we'll get our thing signed the first 2 hour session, so we don't have to wait another hour. But all these people are the VIPs, so they go first and then we go, but we are really close for once to the beginning. That door is the beginning, so hopefully we'll get to go the first 2 hour session. That would be awesome.
Obviously, you're training from the stage. You do your camera and stock. What do you prefer? You do both, you know, you've done stage, you've done screen, you've done television. Do you prefer more voiceover work?
I prefer working. Whatever the genre. As long as the check clears. And you know, listen, praise God that my training has allowed me to be able to switch genres comfortably. You know, they're not always easy transitions to make, but that's what I trained for. Because sometimes, you know, if you're doing it like in an animated series, many times we'll have a multiple mic situation. Sometimes it may be in a circular situation if the booth is big enough, if it can accommodate that. So there may be a time when I can actually look at you and play to you. But many times what happens is the person who I'm talking to is next to me. And, you know, you can even hear, if I turn my head, there's a difference in, here's the sweet spot. If I turn my head, you have a different hearing experience. Well, the engineer hears that even more acutely. So it doesn't matter how intense it is, and if I want to stay in the sweet spot, even if I look at this person next to me, you got to kind of stay within that parameter. That's very different than if I'm acting with you and I can turn to you. Right. I don't have to worry about that. But you do have to be concerned about that when you're, so as I'm saying, you know, sometimes you have to play it straight out and they're right next to you. That's very different. I do remember thinking that Mr. Rogers, for me, before I worked with him, well, I mean, I was growner than the target audience by the time I had really discovered him. When I met him and discovered he was a Presbyterian minister. His ministry was geared to children between, like 4 and 6, or 4 and 8, something like that. His ministry was to children. And if you watch him, it begins to make an incredible amount of sense, because he never talked down to his audience, but it was always, very simple. I mean, you knew he wasn't talking to, 20-somethings. When you look at Goliath as an example of our leader, the father of our clan, our family, if you look at his sense of values, how he felt about protecting his family, looking after his family, and his job as protector of this new society that he's also a part of, now that the clan has been moved to New York. His sense of looking after everyone and making sure that everyone was taken care of. His sense of, because he's not human and he's different. There's one of my favorite lines is, we are not like the humans. We have a different set of values. That sense.
All right, now we're cooking. We got a full house here. All right, guys, there's more seats over here if you want to come over and sit down. Okay, so we'll open it up. If you have a question, please raise your hands, and we will gladly call on you and answer. In the front row, right there, yes.
Okay, how was it working with John Carpenter? Well, he was my old buddy in film school. It was kind of like doing another student film except for a few extra dollars. Not many extra dollars, by the way. So it was, very familiar. The scene when Jamie, in mid-movie, gets out of the car, is looking for Michael, looks up in the window, and sees him. She thinks she sees him. She shoots at him. It's a reflection of him. So that's me in the window. She shoots at me, and then when the fake bullet goes through the glass, it's him, because he's also a fabulous, not only a great actor but a fabulous stuntman. So they didn't want to get my beautiful face. The other shot really is the back of my back, and you can see it in the extra editions if you look really, really, really carefully. If you've seen that, it's a scene where the granddaughter is jogging and she comes upon a dead, hanging dog in a tree. And I'm one of the neighbors without the mask on, but it's just from the back of me. So that's a little clue as to that. But it was always pretty much designed for me to do a cameo. David was, the director, was very gracious in bringing me on board and letting me read the script, and even coming up with a couple ideas, and did the same on this new one. Well, the original mask, I don't remember it being uncomfortable at all. I think it was a little looser, as a matter of fact, from the 2018 mask, which is easy to do because obviously, first of all, our faces are different, even if it was the same mask. It wasn't stuffy or uncomfortable. But the new one I found to be a little harder to deal with. That's why I'm glad I didn't have to do that much. And of course, this poor joker here, he has to where from time to time, you remember when Michael got stabbed in the eye? Well, they took that very seriously and they made a prosthetic that goes over the eye that can be very uncomfortable. He can tell you that.
Oh yeah, the 2018 mask was molded to my face. So that's really my bone structure. And so I went out to Chris Nelson's studio out in California, and they did a rendering of my face. They built a bust. They built the mask on that bust. What's interesting enough is when Nick puts the mask on, it looks different than when I put the mask on because it's built to my face, not Nick. And it's really so I have an eye prosthetic, so I'm only looking through one eye, and then the cutout in the eye really cuts off your peripheral vision. So if you think about it, doing action, like for instance fighting, you need to track with the two eyes, depth perception, going downstairs. All those kinds of things change when you only have one eye. And it is really hot, and especially when you're doing action, it's super hot. It's restrictive, and there are times, like when we're shooting, when the mask get knocked and I'm completely blind, I couldn't see anything. It's just...
Yes, so there's supposed to be 2 more. I know the rumor Adam told me is they're going to shoot them at the same time. I have not read a script or done anything. I just know that he always makes me do really stupid shit. And a lot of it. So hopefully I'm not going to be handcuffed an entire movie this time. Or covered in I mean, it's like, it's completely insane what he has me do. But I know there's supposed to be 2 more, which is great. And yes, the end of Victor Crowley, I stand up and I say, I've been waiting for you, motherfucker.
I just want to know how you really like it.
You too.
Well, he was, he was in that insane asylum, and they did have classes. Driver's ed, of course, is one of the normal classes at high school. So perhaps it's a question that is not answered in the movie. In fact, he does a pretty good job of driving. He doesn't show that he's a newcomer. So it's one of those things I think just fell through the cracks in terms of logic.
Hey James, what kind of pressure did you feel?
I don't think John thought that. I don't think Deborah thought that. I don't think anyone thought that it would be what it came out to be. I mean, it was, you read the script, it's pretty there, someone running around and killing babysitters. But it's done, but that's where the magic sometimes of art and cinema comes, or you're somehow, the grace of God through all things coming together. Everything, like the question was what makes Michael so different is, one is that mask. I mean, it was just brilliant, and it was brilliant out of the necessity of not having any money and go finding something at a toy store, and a great production designer who turned out to be a great director being on board to do it. I mean, all these things, having the perfect Laurie Strode, to start with, and then having John Carver, who understood the history of film and how to make this thing work. So you put all those things together, but at the time you're not seeing that. You're just saying, oh, isn't that cute? They got Tony Curtis's daughter to be in it. You think of things like that. And it's not until it becomes a phenomenon do you think of it. And I was just hoping, because John was my buddy, I hope this isn't a flop. Oh my God, I hope this, he gets through this and gets another movie. Turns out that was the most successful thing in his whole career, I think. All that we
Bruce Campbell panel's about to start.
No, I'm not going to waste time.
And the master of disaster, Bruce Campbell!
Say, Ted, did these work too?
Hello. Hi.
Ted.
Yes, Bruce.
Aren't you working on something right now? Can you talk about what you're working on?
Yes, I'm working on something, but no, I can't.
You son of a bitch!
Can't talk. Now, Bruce, are you working on something?
You can tell me rough things. You can give me something.
Well, as long as
you can.
None of you promise
to
tweet about it.
No, you're totally good, Ted. Your secret is good in this room.
How many of you, if given a big Hollywood secret, would keep it to themselves? Raise your hand.
See, Ted?
Liars.
Give the people something, Ted. God.
Dear God. All right. How many of you have spent autograph money today? Raise your hand.
Too much.
Too much? Who said that? You said stand up. So,
You're
first
too
of
much.
all,
You're looking at the too much right
No.
there.
now, first of all, how much? Well, let's not talk dollars.
Guys that come up to me, they go, Bruce, I'd love to get your autograph, but took all my money over here.
Now, how old are you?
I'm 16.
You're 16, so you blew your college fund. Is that right? It's all gone. So now, in 4 years, but look at the bright side. You can't go to school anymore, but now you won't owe money for the rest of your life. So do that for that kid. You know what we're gonna make you do, yeah. We might have you, we might have you shoeless eating from a bowl of sour cream. You don't know what we're gonna do. You pervert.
More hands go.
Well, Bruce and I were talking. Let me tell you what we're going to do first. Bruce and I were talking about how we're so frequently interviewed. And sometimes we feel that those interviewers aren't all that good, but we think that you guys might be much better interviewers.
Maybe there's a budding journalist among you. Like a serious budding journalist who knows enough about Ted that most people don't want to know.
It's cold out there.
But someone who'd be willing to come up and maybe sit like in one of these seats.
Right. Can we get this sucker working?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
And
All
we'll
right, so-
give him a chair, but maybe Ted, you want to pick someone who feels they could conduct an actual interview?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Like actually can run a panel, like 'cause we don't have anyone to run our panel. And we figure if one of you runs the panel and it sucks, it's not our fault.
That's right. So,
anyone like to run a sucky panel?
yeah, raise your hand. Okay.
And yes, ma'am, right here. Stand up, please. What are your qualifications for running a piss poor panel? Stand up, please. You've done it before? You've attended piss poor panels, no doubt. A preschool teacher.
Oh.
Well, you're like a walking piss poor panel. Because they're bored with you all day long. They bore you all day long.
Why don't you kick the little rats out the door and say, go get your own damn education. That's what I do.
Now, does that qualify you in what way? Like, are you equating this audience with preschool? You have very good
Yeah, such
random
as
questions.
do you like to glue with your teeth, your mouth, or the lip to paint?
Nice. Nice. Ted, would you like to audition here then?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, come on up here.
Come on up.
Sure.
Thanks so much.
Wow, what a great reception, huh, Ted?
And it is great. It sure is great to be here
Wow.
next to all of you and a panelist named Caitlin.
Now, Ted, stop. We don't have to do shit at this point. This is her job.
Oh, yeah.
Moderating the panel.
Okay. So, my first question is, Bruce, what is your favorite color?
Next question. See, it didn't go so easy for you, did it?
I have a follow-up.
Oh my God. Okay. Okay, so if I said next question, you would go, what's your follow-up?
Okay. Same question.
I see. That's how she treats me and Ted like children. It's perfectly. I get them to compete with each other. That's it. Oh, Bruce won't do a color. Ted will. And the funny thing is, he will.
You also didn't see the little naughty squint. And look, you know that it's reserved for kids that are that age. This one? Okay. Orange?
Okay, now I'll answer the question. Blue, it's the hero color.
It's interesting that you would say orange because you're wearing a very green jacket.
Yes, that is true.
Which is so close to orange.
Well, in a sense it is. It's not a true green. It's really more of an earthy green, which means it contains rusts and browns in it. And orange, in its true form, also has that. So actually, they do go together. Next question, Miss Smarty Pants.
Okay, so my next question is, if you two were put to a battle of the death, who do you think would win?
A battle to the death?
I don't ask my kids this question.
You mean who would live? That's your question, right? Which one would live, finally?
What weapons are available?
Chainsaw?
Okay, chainsaw.
Yep, what else?
And what would you use? Paint?
Look, this is your dumb scenario. So you gotta paint the picture. Well, who am I? What do I have? Who is Ted? What does he have? Let's straighten this out.
Okay,
I'm not gonna help you.
Man-made materials, let's say non-mechanical.
Fine.
Is there wood?
Yeah, that's
Okay, is there a fire? Can we have a fire in this world?
You would have to take the time to make the fire.
Okay. Are
Would
there
you be able to risk that?
are there any animals around?
You would throw an animal at it?
It's none of your business what I would do with that. But what I want to know is, are there animals?
Yes.
Great, I take one of the animals, I kill it with a piece of wood, Bruce and I would roast it on the fire, then we don't have to kill each other. We can continue making horror movies for the rest of our lives.
You know what? If I was trapped in a room with nothing but a mirror and a skeleton, I could get out.
And how would you do that?
Is that your next question?
You said a mirror and a
And a skeleton.
in a room.
Yes.
Are there windows?
No windows, no doors, no ma'am.
Okay, so could you please explain to us how you would do that?
Sure. I look in the mirror. Evil Dead 2. No, sir. No, sir. No. I'd look in the mirror and I'd see what I saw. And I'd take the saw and I would cut the skeleton in half. 2 halves make a hole. I'd get out through the hole.
Wait. Woo-woos does not help. Just a minute. Now, we're gonna have the old applause meter deal.
Well, wait, just a second. I think you're asking both of us if we wear boxers or briefs, but you said it was a question for the ladies.
I see.
They want to know. I want to know.
You bet you do. Okay, who votes, first of all, that Bruce and I probably wear boxers? Who would raise their hand if Bruce and I probably wear briefs? All right.
Look, I'll clarify some things. There's not a chance in hell I'm going tighty whitey. Not a chance in hell. And the problem with boxers, they twist. Do they not, Ted? Do they not twist in little tubes around each of your legs as you're walking around? Okay, so, you know, one's a little too pinchy, one's a little too loosey. Maybe it's something in the middle, lady. That's it, I'm done. As I go, right there.
You want me to go now?
It's your turn.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, it just depends on what you're wearing. Now, all I wear are basically old vintage suits for the most part, and so...
So why bother with underwear?
Why bother? Isn't that a thing of the past?
You know, yeah.
No, I'm strictly a boxer's guy. Man, I like the old man feel. It's just awesome. It's the best. No briefs. I don't believe in briefs.
Do you wear night shirts to bed? Night dresses?
No.
Because those are also free.
It's true.
Night dresses is, what year is this?
We meant 1955, not 1865. Yeah, true.
Oh, I say my prayers and I put my night dress on. Me and Bob go out and milk the goats, and then we pray again, and we put another night shirt on. Oh, it works out okay there in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Me and Jedediah out there. Sorry, man, this is your panel.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we'll go with a typical question. What was your favorite project to work on?
Because I don't pay for my own work, I have to leave that to pundits out here.
Army of Darkness.
Army of Darkness, Evil Dead. I can't argue with any of them. The answer is because there's more coming. Like the project that Ted refuses to tell you about could be a really good project, right, Ted?
Yes, Bruce, that's right.
Yeah, if you could talk about it.
If I could talk about it.
Yeah, cool.
Which I can.
Is that your favorite?
Is it my favorite?
Yeah.
No, my favorite is every single movie where I got paid in under 1 week. That's my favorite movie.
How many of them?
How many what?
How many actually did that?
Oh, like 2?
Yeah.
Like 2, I did, but you know, yeah, you get those checks and you're like, oh, I can pay my rent. This is so very exciting.
So none of them made you laugh, none of them were, made you feel special or proud or anything?
Yeah, I'm proud of many of the things I've done. Some of the things I'm really not so proud of, and other things I wish I were dead before I made them. But I still loved those projects while I made them. But I don't really watch a lot of the things that I've done.
You don't watch?
No.
Do you watch things that you've done? Like, do you watch My Name is Bruce and you're like...
Well, I do think it's interesting that my kids can watch me go from 21 to 61 now. So I guess if they're thinking Dad's moving a little slow like Uncle Joe, they can pop an Evil Dead 2 from 33 years ago, and yeah, I guess. It's good for that, I guess.
Are there any movies that you wouldn't like them to see?
My daughter, I said, when you're old enough to drive to the video store and rent the VHS of Evil Dead, then you can see it. So she did.
VHS.
Yeah, VHS, yeah.
Dating us a little bit. You like my color question, so I went to a real question.
Hi. Where were we now? Was there any
A project that you wish that you could have done, but you weren't able to do? Or?
Wish I could. Nah, those are tough. Woulda, coulda, shouldas are always tough. I mean, I tried for stuff that I didn't get. That I auditioned for the role that Billy Zane got, who's here. So you could always go to Billy Zane's table and go, Billy, so you East Campbell out of that role. How was that?
Which role? Titanic.
No, not Titanic. No, Billy's very glad that he got that role in Titanic, because he's still getting $7 million in residuals every week for Titanic. So he's fine. No, The Phantom. I auditioned for The Phantom, and it got down to me and Billy. And Billy got to wear the tights, the purple tights, and ride a white horse through the jungle.
When you're at home, do you ever put on purple tights and
I put on purple tights at home.
No, blue one.
I don't need to play games if that's what you're talking about. I don't need to help myself or my wife.
Was there a project that you wanted to be involved in that you weren't able to?
Yeah, almost all of them. I'm an actor. We're actors. That's what, you know, we don't get 98% of all the things we ever try for. Sometimes more. So most everything I've auditioned for, you don't get, but you get close. But you know, it's just part of it.
Is there a worst audition? Is there such a thing as worst audition?
Oh yeah.
Worst audition experience?
Oh, absolutely.
You want to hear that?
Can you cook it down?
Yeah, I have it. Here's what, well, I'll tell you, I used to do a lot of commercials. Back in the 1990s, I did commercials for M&M's and Carl's Jr., you name it. And I went on 1 million auditions for them, got a few of them, but this is the one that made me not become a commercial actor ever again. I'm sitting, as you do as an actor, you sit in a waiting room, of course, much like a dentist's office, and instead of people holding their mouths in agony as they leave, and you being terrified, you're watching actors and actresses sob as they leave these rooms as they failed, not gotten the part. So I'm sitting there, but instead of people looking depressed, they look like they were assaulted by a bull. That's all I can, the best way and most polite way I can put it. I mean, they really looked assaulted in a terrible, in fact, not in a physical way. I didn't know what was happening. So they called me in. It's for Church's Fried Chicken commercial. I get in there and I see 4 of the most bored executives you've ever seen in your life. And I said, "Hi, I'm Ted." They go, "We don't care." They took a cassette tape, stuck it in a cassette tape player, which is the technology of that day. They pushed play, and on it, this absurd, dumb country music, and I don't mind country music, it's like bad bluegrass. It's like, and I looked at them, I didn't know what was happening, and one of them said to me, "Now, you're going to dance and act like a chicken to this music." Then they turned on a video recorder and they go, "Go." They were serious, and I went. They all stared at me for 1 full minute while I did that. They turned it off and said, "Thanks, we'll call you." And then I left with that same look of being assaulted by a bull on my face. It was horrifying. So that, I never went back after that. That was really bad. That's about as bad as they get, though. But it was enough.
Did you ever dance like a chicken?
No, but I got a bad one. A very important director, Ed Zwick. Did a movie called Glory, Legends of the Fall with Brad Pitt. He does important motion pictures. Important pictures. So I was having what they call a general meeting with him. He had a project that he was going to do, and I wasn't auditioning for a specific role.
And Bruce, before you continue, a general meeting means what?
It really means you're going to sit down. They can look at you, make sure you got all legs and arms. That an actor's been around long enough, he's not going to audition per se. I'll let you come and have a look at me while I crack a few jokes, and then I'll get out of there. That's a general meeting. Hey, what are you up to? You talk. So he was in the middle of mixing, I think it was called Under Siege, Bruce Willis movie, New York City, right? Very serious, very important. And he was gonna have a meeting with me off to one side of this mixing stage. And he's mixing, he's a director, right? So he'll take this meeting with me when he gets a second. But I'm gonna sit first in this auditorium about this size, watching his movie being mixed. I'm off in a chair over here. And I always loved the sound from the Evil Dead movies. We always got very involved in that, and we loved the sound process. And so I thought, I know, I'll hit this guy with a couple of sound jokes as soon as I see him. That'll just loosen things right up. Ed Zwick is the most serious man on the planet. We finally have a second, they're gonna work on some sound stuff, so he gets a chance. Okay, go meet with Mr. Zwick. Oh, hey, hello, Mr. Zwick. How are you, Bruce Campbell? Hey, listen, at 700 feet, 10 frames, I thought you could bring that cricket sound up just a little bit to give a little something to the scene. You know, a little razzle-dazzle. Next thing I know, I'm in the parking lot. And I get a call from my manager going, he talked like Thurston Howell III from Gilligan's Island. He goes, just got a call from Zwick's office. Their question was, what the hell was that? And apparently after I walked out the door, Ed Zwick turned to his casting person and said, this is why I don't do general meetings. So I don't think Ed Zwick has ever had another general meeting, and funny, I haven't either. Even very successful people have struggles, and he was struggling. And that's that amazing story. No, not that one.
Which
He owes me though, he fucking owes me that. Sir in the back with the hat, yes.
What was the moment when you both of you, just selected, when you first started acting, and it could be theater, before when people knew who you were, what was that moment you realized art was what you wanted to do? Creating characters?
What was the moment that being a thespian was what we knew we had to do? When did that happen, Ted? When did that lightning bolt moment? You had to be in shock.
I had a series of crappy jobs. The last one I had was a dishwasher. And then I did a half day's work on an industrial film in Detroit. And incidentally, industrial films, for those of you who don't know, they're in-house movies made for that company. So for example...
It's like a training film.
It's like a training film. It's like how to fold shirts if you work for the Gap company. So I made a bunch of those, and I got the first check I got was for a half day of work working for General Motors, and it was worth 3 weeks of washing dishes. So that's why I wanted to be an actor. I wish I could tell you that some inner voice sang to me, "Boy, oh, no, I never came to that point like most people do. Bruce probably had that moment. I didn't have that. And when I got to be like 19, I went, I think I can make a living at this. And then when I was 21, I loved it. But it was like a slow progression up. You know, it was just like, dishwashing sucks. I don't want to do that the rest of my life. And I didn't finish college, so that kind of sucked. So actually, I don't have any two smart guy options left. That's the truth of the matter. I could be a lawyer. So yeah. Bruce, what was your moment?
I was 8, Ted. I was 8 years old. I guess we were all 8 at one point.
Bruce, this is only an hour panel.
Oh, that's right. Thanks, Mike. Thank you. 5-minute warning. So I better make this quick and
We actually have 20. Mike just did that as a favor.
My father was a frustrated painter. He wanted to be an artist, like an actual artist. And my grandfather worked for Alcoa Aluminum in Detroit for 45 years. He goes, you want to do a what? He was a World War I veteran. He's like, No, we don't do that. We don't paint. We go to jobs and we work, and we don't have to like the jobs and the work, but we work, that's what we do. So my dad went, okay. So he went to college, even with an art major. He got into advertising, which was sort of creative, but on the side he became an actor in a local theater group. So I got to see him in a play when I was 8. And I remember looking at him. My dad was an okay guy, pretty jolly guy, but he's cracking jokes, wearing funny outfits, dancing with women that weren't my mother. And people are like clapping and shit, and he's going, hey, whoa! And he's in a play called Brigadoon. He played the young Jeff, the American guy. Hey, Bruce Campbell. I was like, what the fuck? That's my dad. What is that? Because normally he comes out with a suit. It was all suits and ties, Detroit, for 1,000 years. He wore a suit and tie. My dad take his coffee cup, put it in the car, take his briefcase, shove it in there, drive off with the coffee cup on the car. I found coffee cups for miles where my dad would just take off. His head wasn't really in the game, fucking advertising job, god damn it. But at night he came alive. He'd come home, make a thermos of coffee. I'm going to play practice, he would call it. He was in plays for 30 years over there. And not a very good actor. Not that I've ever been accused of that, but I got to see him in it, and once I saw him in it, I went, he can't hassle me really about anything at this point. Like I can go to him and just ask him anything, because I've seen him like in dresses and stuff like that. So he was very supportive and invested in the Evil Dead, and he was the first chump to invest. So I think he took one for the team so that I could do it. Well, honestly, here's the truth. My grandfather never thought twice about whether he liked his job or not. My dad thought a lot about whether he liked his job or not, and I've never looked back and only done the job that I want. So I give thanks to my previous generation for making it happen. I kind of look at it this way. It's sort of like the Star Wars saga, because now you go, let's go see a Star Wars movie. That's what they all are now, is a Star Wars movie. Things that go and spaceships that go and funny rubber creatures. That's a Star Wars movie. So it doesn't matter if you call them 1, 2, 8, 19, 20, Disney will renumber them all anyway, so it doesn't really matter according to their timeline. So, this doesn't have an end to it. Where? Blue-haired girl. Yes. Oh my God. Last question.
Did you ever make peace with Peter Jackson for stealing all the horses in New Zealand? No.
She's referring to my accusation that Peter Jackson is a thieving son of a bitch. Because on Jack of All Trades, made roughly at the same time, I needed one black horse. One horse. Nice horse, right? A hero's horse. We go to the local farm. Hey, can we see your horses? Oh yeah, Peter Jackson just came by. Bought them all up. Oh, that's nice for him. Go to another farm. Hey, we're looking for just a black horse. Oh yeah, you just missed it, yeah. Oh yeah, Peter Jackson's people just came by. That son of a bitch bought every black horse in New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea. The horse we were left with for Jack of All Trades was called Widowmaker. This thing you had to shoot it with a gun to get it to do anything. This thing was like half dead. So, because Peter Jackson for his lead horse paid $350,000 for his main horse. So we're not competing with that. So Have I ever seen any of those movies? No, and I will never, ever watch one of those movies. That deviant son of a bitch.
We have to go very soon, but we wanted to thank you very much, and we want to thank you for being here all the time. Also, we wanted to, there's something I did want to mention to you, I want to thank our host,
our special panel.
I want to tell you, he is a trio host for her generation, and it's great to see that. She was tweeting and texting just now while we were all talking. And then I realized she wasn't taking pictures of us, she was taking pictures of herself. You can find out her Facebook page at
Kate Bay.
Kate Bay. Don't forget to go there and look at pictures of her. Folks, we loved having you. And
thank you. Thank you very much.
We had just finished at Bruce's panel. It was pretty good. Got good footage of it too, so I'm happy about that. And we also did get the autograph, and I'll show that later when I show what we got at the convention. And I also got to shake his hand. That was pretty awesome. The panel was really entertaining, and he was pretty funny. This is apparently where we are. It's right next to our hotel. Pookie got wings again. There's my crab cake. I tasted it. It's pretty good. Got broccolis and mashed potatoes. Pookie's got a crab burger. Hi, we're back at the hotel, and I put the microphone on the Sony 7. Try to test it out. It looks like it might be too high though, because it's going really high and too close to the red dots. But we're back home here at the hotel, and I'm gonna show you what stuff we bought today. So we got this cool cat print. She said it was the only one of this one she had left, so that's really cool, and it has glitter on it. I don't know if you can see it, but that's kind of neat. But it's cute. It's like a little elf cat. And she had these stickers too, so we bought one of her stickers. And Pookie got the ash that he bought signed. So we actually made it through the signature line this time, unlike Robert Englund, unfortunately. Pookie got what he wanted, yay! And we also got this book. So once I finish the current book that I'm reading, I'll probably give this a read and see what it's like. I also need to read the one about the cryptid monsters as well. But that's all we got. Not like Mothman Festival where we bought a ton of stuff, but that's good. So that's the haul for this convention so far. So I just wanted to get some more footage using this microphone so I can hear the difference when I get home, and say a little bit about the convention. I went to sleep. I was tired last night, so tonight I just kind of went, this morning, Sunday, say what I thought of it so far. So I think it was a little bit better organized than the one we went to, I think in July, or was it August? Monster Mania 43. For Bruce Campbell, you came early, you got tickets for his signature, and then you came back later, which I thought was better than making everyone wait for Robert Englund for hours and hours and hours while he went on his breaks and when he went on his lunch, and then he'd go photo ops and you're still waiting in line, missing the entire convention. So the tickets were a good idea. The only bad thing about the tickets is then they decided everyone needed to line up in the order of their number, but they didn't tell anyone that ahead of time, so everyone's waiting in line to try and get in early so they can enjoy the convention, and then they're telling you, oh no, you gotta go way back here even though you've been waiting here. So that kind of sucked. If they would have sold the tickets maybe like an hour before his signing time and then had everyone instantly get in line and order, I think that idea would have worked. But not doing that, I think you just need to let the people show up. Get a ticket, limit how many people can get one, and then, you know, go in and see him. And he was pretty cool though. He was nice, and he shook our hand, and we were the last ones in before he went to lunch, so he was probably, I was like, we're the last ones, good luck, go have lunch. And he shook our hand, and that was awesome. And his panel was pretty entertaining. We're wondering if the girl he picked out of the audience was a plant. When you watch that part, you'll see what I'm talking about. It seemed very planned. I don't know, but it was still entertaining, so that's okay if it was. It was a good show. And we also went to Keith's panel and Michael Myers' Halloween movie panel. We didn't go to the Scream one. We wanted to get out and go have dinner. And now we're going back because we have a photo op with Bruce Campbell. I'm not going to probably be able to film anything when that happens, but I'll tell you about it afterward and show you the picture. Seems like he's a fun guy getting pics too, so that's nice. I'm so glad that Robert Englund and both Bruce Campbell have been pretty cool and seem to like their fans, so that's awesome. So we'll be leaving here in a moment to go back. We'll also probably take another look at the vendors just before we leave, and I don't know if I'll film that or not. We'll see, and I'll be back later. Bye. Well, we're in line again for a Bruce Campbell photo op. Apparently we were late this morning because the line's already pretty long. There it goes, all the way down that way. But that's okay because this line moves pretty fast, so this is probably maybe a half-hour wait once it starts moving.
But there's no panels.
Yay, we got our picture with Bruce. And I also got a signature from Keith for Logan, since he's in Halo and Spawn and a bunch of other stuff he probably likes. And we also got another cat print because they put a new one out and it looked too much like our Meow Meow, so we had to get it. And I'll show you that in just a moment. The artist of all the cat prints, she gave us this pin, or I guess her husband or somebody did, and it's pretty cute. So here's the signed picture we got from Keith. We got the Spawn one. I had wanted to get a Halo one, but there wasn't anything with Halo on it, but this one's good because my son also likes Spawn. We also got this kitty print. We're gonna have to figure out where to put all these prints and wait for a really good frame sale at Michael's. There's our picture with Bruce. I look pretty good in this one. Pookie's looking away for some reason. And my husband got the official Monster Mania 44 t-shirt because it has Bruce on it. Although I say that doesn't look much like him, but you know who it is just by the way it looks. So that was Monster Mania 44, and now we're going home, and I thought this one went smoother. We actually accomplished everything we wanted to do and didn't have to wait a long time. I think the longest, maybe 3 hours for the autograph. Yeah, for some reason autographs take forever. But yeah, it was good. We had fun. So hopefully you guys will go too. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll be making more in the future, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.